Hello, dear friends. Best greetings from Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. My name is Dr. Viktor Fursov. I'm a research entomologist, beekeeper, and teacher. I'm studying parasitic insects, and I'm working at the Institute of Zoology of National Academy of Sciences in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. And today, my stream was broken a little bit for a few hours because we had electricity break, but now I am going to be back. So I repeat, stream again, and nevertheless, despite all these troubles, the show is going on. And today I will show you some insects which are living indoors, probably in your house, in a city, in a village, or just in an apartment, or just in a big house, 2 floor, 3 floors apartment, doesn't matter. Nevertheless, these insects can penetrate all doors, all windows, and all difficulties, and can come to your kitchen, to your dining room, to your bathroom, or can find some food, some meal for them, for their successful development while they're coming. So I can show you some interesting beetles, and you can recognize. Have you seen them? Did you recognize them? Do you know them? So write it in the comments if you have recognized some of the species and you know them, or you have seen, or probably you have seen them. You suspect that they are coming to your kitchen or your house or your dining room. So let's start from the beginning. And in the beginning, I show you some beetles, the commonest one. Their names, their name is biscuit beetles. Biscuit beetles. In Latin name, these beetles are named because they're pretty small, very small, from 2 color, and they're quite close and resemble furniture beetles because they're relatives of furniture beetles. They belong to the same family, Anobiidae. Anobiidae. The name in Latin, Stegobium paniceum. The biscuit beetle is found throughout the world, even widely distributed for sure in North America, and it is named in America drugstore beetle, adapted creature, the beetle which is breeding on every conceivable type of vegetable and animal product, including even the hottest spices, different types like a chili pepper. Sometimes you can come to your kitchen and you can see just kind of a strange beetles flying around everywhere and landing somewhere on paperwork, on walls, just falling and drop down inside a cup of coffee or tea. Probably these beetles. Biscuit beetles. They are searching for their food. They are just searching for new places to colonize it, just to infest it. So that's why they just hatched, emerged, and they're flying just in the direction of a window or to the light in evening time. And you can recognize them. They are flying. They are very fragile, easy to squash them, just to crush them. They're not so strong, but they can be a little bit irritating for housekeepers. They're common as the most economically important pests, even maybe just from the time of ancient time of 2000, 2500 BC in Egypt. They were found in some mummies. But sometimes they can manage a huge colonies, like here. I show you just this colony. Biscuit beetles, they can eat different cereals, they can eat beverage concentrates, pets food, herbs, they can eat different spices, even chili pepper, various drugs. They can develop even on poisonous drugs, like which are done from the plants for sure, like banana. Adults were flying very well, and during infestation, beetles are often noticed crawling on windows. Specimens can be carried from buildings to building, from apartment to apartment, in or on goods or on your clothing very easily. Actually, these adults do not feed, but they can eat their way through packaging in order to lay new eggs in a new food resource. That's why sometimes we can infest some products and penetrate cardboard. Specimens can cause structural, as it's named. I repeat the picture. Structural other damage in the last survival stage, on the last larva. By creating a hollowed this chamber, the larva is pupating, and the material can be damaged very easily. It can be cardboard, it can be books, even wood, or even some sheet leads. That's why we're trying, and then we're trying to escape, to hatch from this hollow, and it can damage some materials as well. So be careful about them, and if you have some infested products, just to try to freeze them. Put all your products inside freezer under the temperature minus 20 degrees, and so far under this temperature, beetles and larvae will be frozen and will die very easily. And next beetle, which I would like to show you, a little bit more rare in apartments, but can be found or in a stock with foodstuff. And who are these beetles? These beetles belonging to the family Sylvanidae. Sylvanidae, they are very small, the same from 2 to 4 millimeters size, but their number can be huge. And they're named sawtoothed rain beetle, Latin name Oryzophilus surinamensis, described by famous taxonomist, father of taxonomy Linnaeus from Suriname. That now is this species has a global distribution all around the world. And why it's named? Because this species has a series of serrations, or like tooth-like protuberances on each side of the thorax. We just see it now. If you carefully watch this species under the microscope, you can recognize the thorax with tooth-like protuberances on each side of the thorax. Females of this species produce an average up to 170 eggs, so they are laid in them crevices or near the food material. So imaged larvae easily penetrate small crevices near food and infest it. Larvae are yellowish with brown flakes. Temperature just in a room, in a kitchen, will be very convenient for their development. The serious pests of stored products of very common making an infestation of vegetable materials dry. Products of a vegetable origin, including cereals, like rice, like wheat, barley, maize, and of course products were bread and even pasta. Infestation of dried fruits, cerons, raisins, sultanas are very common. In some occasions, we have a high infestation, and it's quite difficult to destroy them. Even some dry drugs done from plants material also can be infested. There's very tiny, small size, rather small size, about 2 millimeters, enables them to hide in crevices, which are really inaccessible for sprays and fumigants. So if left unchecked, these specimens can spread throughout the grocery store and cause again serious damage. In houses, the specimens of this dangerous pest can be bought indoors, usually as a contaminant of a purchased goods, with some purchased infested goods. So if you bought some infested rice, infested wheat, infested cereals. You can bring in them just from the store. And damage can be quite easy, visible. Even I myself bought recently cereals, oak cereals, and recognized in my cooked porridge I found these beetles. I was really disappointed because packaged with cereals, with oat cereals, has not been properly sealed. So beetles infested it somewhere in a storage room and then just developed very easily inside the shop. And I bought already infested cereals, infested oat cereals. So when I brought it home, cooked it properly, and I found these beetles just inside my plate. So that's why I threw them away just to feed some pigeons at the street, and I just all the rest I put it in the freezer immediately before just coming to the street. I put it in the freezer because in a freezer under the temperature minus 30, they will die easily and very quickly. After 1-2 days, not very quickly, not immediately. And then just I show you biscuit. I show also you our so you can recognize them. Then these beetles not so easy to be destroyed. These are big beetles, large magnification, so the size only between 2 millimeters to 4 millimeters, very small one, but they're very, very here under the high magnification and under the zoom. They're crawling, they're flying, moving very quickly, easily. You can easily catch them because they're not so very fast. And they're very fragile, easy to destroy them. But so you can see them on the walls, on the window, sometimes with just on your place in the kitchen. The best way to get rid of them, put them all to find infested food, infested plant material, and put this plant material in a sealed package, in a plastic package, and put it all together in a freezer under the temperature minus 20, minus 30. So all these tiny beetles will die in a freezer, not in a refrigerator with temperature 5 degrees. 5 degrees is not enough, or just minus 2 degrees, not enough. Just if you put it outside on a balcony on the temperature 2 degrees. No, it will be not enough. 2 degrees or minus 2 degrees Celsius degree. They will survive very easily. Hello to Dmitry. Hello to Raydanos. Greetings to Norway. But minus 20, minus 30 will be good enough for avoidance of them. So, and one another beetle also can be found in the story. These adults can infest different grains. There are 3 species which are very close. One species is the grain beetle, Pseudophilus granarius. This species cannot fly, and these are weevils, very tiny weevils, again size between 2 millimeters or 5 millimeters. They're very noticeable because when infested pale colored foods, such as rice or maize or this wheat, here highly infested wheat, so we're just crawling around, we're just hatched, and so we're spreading around to search for new food for infestation. As I said, one species, grain weevil, Pseudophilus granarius, cannot fly, and to another species can fly. They are difficult to distinguish, and they are called maize weevil or greater rice weevil, Pseudophilus zeamais in Latin, or lesser rice weevil, Pseudophilus oryzae. I suggest, respectively, I suggest that this species is Pseudophilus oryzae, which, according to identification of my colleague at my Institute of Zoology. As their names suggest, grain weevils are the most common as pests in stored grain. Actually, the egg is laid by female inside the hole gnawed in a grain by female. Over the lifetime of a female, which is about several months, female of a weevil can produce about 300 eggs. So infestation can be very high. Inside this hole, there is a whitish wingless larva, which or grub, which has a brown head. It fits wholly inside the grain, which is eventually hollowed out and leaving an empty husk. This species of beetles, this pest, can cause huge losses in grain stores. It also can attack starch contain dry biscuits and pasta. In houses, infestation usually arises from seeds, for instance. Mice or rice weevils appear to be rare sometimes. In village, infestation can be very high. When increased activity, when spring is coming and when it's becoming warmer for sure, and even under the high infestation, the wheat in granaries, and it can during continuous activity and breathing of beetles, grain is becoming even warm. The grain is this breathing causes the grain to heat. Small number have been introduced can be introduced into warehouses on rice or bran, but the species is able to survive in unheated buildings. They need very careful checking, and usually different types of grains and some kinds of food need fumigation before transportation or before the stock in the winter time. And again, if you have just small infestation of small packages with pets food like grains, so easiest way just to stop their development, just to put it in a freezer under the temperature -20, -30. Because you cannot select infested grains from uninfested grains. If you put it in the water, that's not good enough. But it's better done for food for humans, even for your pets. It's not a good food because it contains some chemical materials during the physiological development of these beetles. Better to throw it away out to the street just for natural environment, so some birds will eat small grains and will eat larvae and these beetles outside. So be careful about infestation of your cakes and cereals and grain by these beetles in your store, in your storehouse, in your shop, because you sell your materials. So be careful about it. Just check it, and if you have infestation, just delete, throw it away just out of your stock, or make measurement, or make a continuous checking your material to prevent infestation. You can prevent infestation immediately and easily because you can bring them by a natural way on your clothing or you with some materials which you bought. But nevertheless, checking is the best way to avoid the infestation. Checking some samples of materials or some samples of grains and cereals from one place or another place can prevent infestation during the short period. 1-2 months will be good enough for the very quick development of these beetles, because after 3 months, all packaged with cereals will be highly infested with any of these types of beetles. So, and your customers or you and your pets will be not very happy to find these types of beetles in their meal. This is a story. This is a story about beetles, not all beetles, but about some beetles, about biscuit beetles, about tooth-sowed beetles, Oryzophilus rhenamensis, about Cytophilus granarius, rain beetles, which can infest your house, which can infest your kitchen and your ware store or your food store. So be careful about them. And welcome to my channel to watch them for at least preliminary identification. You can a little bit recognize where differences. And to get rid of them, just put in a freezer and then just take it away. Thank you for coming to my channel. Ask your questions in comments and welcome to my channel again. Whatever time you can come, you can find some of my videos from about insects, which I record in the present time daily when I have electricity, or just with some delays because we have a cutoff of electricity sometimes. If we have good days in Ukraine, I can make you a video, but in some cities we have very hard days even today. We had some attacks of these bloody neighbors, bloody aggressors to some of our cities. We had some blasts, some explosions in Kharkiv city, in the eastern part of Ukraine. So this is very terrible. But we are looking forward for our victory. And Ukraine forever. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, press like, to comment, and I'll my channel again. See you forward to see you not only subscriber but also Patreon sponsor. Why not? For a cup of coffee. Why not? I was very surprised that 2 people came as members, pressed on the bottom join on the under the video. Under this video you can see bottom subscribe and bottom join. And if you put your bottom, if you click on the bottom join, you will join the group of members of our channel. So 2 people already over there as research assistants. So you can be also a research assistant of my channel, clicking on the bottom, join near the bottom, subscribe. Subscribe is red bottom, and probably join is red or blue bottom. So click, and you can join us as a research assistant or on the higher level. Check it. You will be surprised, and I will be surprised as well for your donation. Thank you very much for coming. Or just visit Patreon page. Bye-bye. See you soon on my channel. Good luck. Thank you for coming. Good luck. Bye-bye.